All right, Geminis, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for January 11th through the 17th of 2016. My name is Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to this type of astrology, be sure to check the description down below because the signs are different. All right, Gemini, so this week we've got much easier aspects than last week. Last week we had a lot of retrogrades. Your ruler was going station, transformative energy with Pluto, but this week very supportive. Now your ruler is of course still retrograde, so it is good to be adaptive, go with the flow, try new things, revamp your goals, revamp yourself in many ways, which is a great time to do that. And I would say specifically involving relationships, maybe how you interrelate in your relationships in life, whether it's with spouse or business partnerships. A lot of this is a good area to work on and to rehash with Mercury retrograde here in the 7th, especially because you just had a new moon here later last week. So there are new beginnings shaping up involving the relationship sphere. Now it all starts here on Tuesday and Wednesday when Venus trines up to Uranus. So this could be quite exciting. Maybe for you, could be new with your self-expression this week, something new, maybe some new interests or hobbies or something that's quite exciting here. And I think it's all involving your work or your daily activities with Venus in that 6th. So it's great right now for you to be enjoying your work or whatever you do with your routine, your health, your diet, developing your crafts, which is very serious right now with Saturn in that 6th. But now with Venus separating from Saturn, you'll probably notice it a whole lot easier and more enjoyable this week. But in either case, this early part, quite exciting. And it could be exciting in the career front too, and maybe even relationships or something new there that could be quite liberating on the more daily, mundane sense. Now here on Wednesday and Thursday, we do have the Sun trining up to Jupiter and the North Node. So this is all about these shifts that are taking place for all of us this early part of the year, with the North Node shifting into Leo. So here it's your 3rd house, and I think you have been learning over the past 6 months quite a bit about communication or the more practical aspects of life, maybe reading, writing, sharing. At least a lot of that stuff is great for you with all this expansion of Jupiter. But now the North Node's shifting into that Leo energy. So for the next 2 years, a lot of support for reading, writing, sharing, communicating, really finding your passions and interests with that stuff, especially because, as you Geminis, it's a big part of who you are. And you can see it here as Leo, the constellation of passion, is associated with that 3rd house of yours. So very nice there. It could be quite good for those things, in fact, this week with the trine. And again, it could be that maybe the communications are just very supportive or just easier this week, involving those one-to-one connections. And with all of that in flux, Mercury retrograde, it's just still being rehashed and rethought in the process, but still quite nice and could be quite enjoyable. And it's just a good time to be doing things like the correspondence or whatnot with that extra attention of that Mercury retrograde. Now also on Wednesday and Thursday, Venus will be squaring up to Chiron. So there is healing going on with your self-expression this week, and maybe with that alone time, that spiritual time out, I think will be important if you're called to do that, since since Venus rules your 12th house also. But in either case, being open to healing, and I think being open to healing in regards to your self-improvement, your work, or anything on that daily level, I think can be quite grounded with this, and as a result could be quite rejuvenating. So then as we go into Thursday, Mercury is going to go over the Sun retrograde and then trine up to that Jupiter North Node conjunction. So again, just like with the Sun here, there could be some insights, but perhaps more on the practical side of it later in the week around Thursday. Pretty good, strong self-expression, maybe some passionate ideas coming through with Mercury in front of the Sun. And it's all, again, involving those one-to-one connections and relationships in some sense. And, it could be at work, it could be with spouse, it could be all kinds of one-to-one connections. So it's, I think, in just a general sense, being open to expressing those ideas, keeping it, again, extra attention on there because your ruler's retrograde, but still some new insights nonetheless that can be very much supporting this more practical expansion that's taking place of your 3rd house. Now the weekend tops off with Saturday and Sunday when we've got Mars trining up to Neptune. It's a very nice aspect, very easygoing in fact, and could be quite compassionate. This is where there's been perhaps a lot of drive and ambition or just assertiveness with home or with family or with your health lately. But here it just, I don't know, it could be easygoing in that regards. And even with your routine also, and maybe anything you're involved with groups or community things as well, going into next week. Now, also topping off the week, but this is mostly going into Monday, Venus is going to be squaring up to Jupiter and the North Node. And usually with this, it's a benefic, so it comes across as quite optimistic. So I think it's just good to see where maybe you are having this optimism about the daily work or daily activities, maybe even with that self-expression, and that's great. There can be some insights, and with the square, you really do want to integrate it, be balanced with it, and see how you can bring in this insight about the practical aspects of life, about communication, about perhaps the social energies or learning or reading or whatever it is you're involved with into the daily work. And when you do that, you just find that nice solid grounding, which is that square energy. All right. So Gemini, have a great week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all next time.